Hare Good morning, dear devotees.
Good
Welcome.
morning,
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good student, A+. Okay, wow. Did anybody else not want that kirtan to end? That was so magical. Oh, thank you. Welcome to our Sunday Bhagavat Sravana program. We're so happy to have you all here. Thank you for braving the slush, the sleet, the snow, whatever you want to call it, and we'll see what it looks like when we get out. But thank you for making your way here today. I can promise you, you will be very glad that you're here. This is our Sunday program. For anyone that's not familiar, the format is we just had some wonderful kirtan. We're going to have a very special class. We'll have some more kirtan and we'll do arti for their lordships. And then we will take prasadam in the back, which is just vegan, sanctified food. Very delicious, very wonderful. So I'm very honored and pleased to be able to introduce our speaker today. We have Sri Prahlad joining us. He is a lifelong devotee raised in Gurukul ashrams in Australia and India. And he's one of the current co-directors here at the Bhakti Center. He began singing as a child, leading kirtans, and at just 12 years old, he was signed by EMI, releasing the album Through the Eyes of a Child, including a very important peace song that helped free devotees in the former USSR. He spent 18 years traveling globally with his spiritual mentor, Indra Swami, and he holds a PhD and teaches here at New York University. And this is so new, it might not be his official bio yet, but he and his wife, Sri Prahlad, recently welcomed a baby girl home.
Hello.
And we're so grateful that you've taken time from your busy schedule to be here with us today. So please give 3 big high balls for our special guest. Haribo! Haribo! Haribo!
It's an honor to be here with you, and Bhagavat Sravana is about hearing the Bhagavat. The Bhagavata is the glory of Krishna, and then specifically that glory is given to us in the pages of the Bhagavata Purana or the Srimad Bhagavatam. Today I thought to explore something with you, and that is verses within the Srimad Bhagavatam that repeat. This is something that I've been exploring recently, and it's given me great delight to identify different repeating verses in the Bhagavatam. I was aware of a couple of verses that repeat, and then recently I was describing a verse and I went to see the translation. I spoke the translation, and then I went to show the person how Prabhupada translates it that way, and found that the translation was very different from the one that not very different, but slightly different from the one that I knew. I was like, well, how did that happen? I'm quite sure I read Prabhupada explaining these words that way, and it's not as I remember it. And then I did a search for the specific translation I was looking for and found it was another verse in the Bhagavatam, essentially the same verse. Prabhupada had translated it one way here, one way there, and so I found that verse was a repeat, and I became curious about other repeats. As I said, I was aware of some, but I compiled a list of about 10. Some are double repeats, some are triples. And so I'm not going to go through all 10 with you. We will explore a few. So let's begin by perhaps asking, have you noticed any repeated verses in the Bhagavatam?
Yes, but I don't remember.
Sure, yeah, okay. there's perhaps one that we all know repeats. And when I say it, we go, oh yeah, of course, we know that one. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, right? So maybe we'll chant it together 3 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Where does this repeat? The very, very beginning, right? It's the first introductory verse, invocation. It's part of verse 1. And so generally when we give Bhagavatam, we hear Bhagavatam class, we start by chanting that verse 3 times, as we just have. It also appears at the beginning of Canto 2. Before Sukadeva Goswami, at the end of Canto 1, Parikshit Maharaj is asked, what's the duty of a person who's going to die? Sukadeva Goswami said, it's to hear about, remember, and glorify Krishna. And I'm going to give you this hearing, remembering, and glorifying by speaking Bhagavatam. And so he starts by saying, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So there's a second repeat. I said, well, this isn't one of the 3. And then the third is in the 4th canto, Janitai. What context?
Dhruva Maharaj
Yeah.
well, Narada Muni instructed.
Dhruva Maharaj receives a mantra from Narada Muni. When Dhruva is determined that he's going to find God, he's gone into the forest searching for God. He meets Narada Muni. Narada Muni says, I'll teach you a mantra. You chant this mantra, and God will come to you. And the mantra he gives is, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So there's an example of a verse that repeats. An obvious one. The 3 that I want to explore with you are different from this, and they have different functions. So the benefits of repetition. What could be some benefits of repetition? Yes, Jenna.
It helps you remember.
Yeah. So what do we say? Repetition is the mother of learning. That's what I always tell my students. I'm going to repeat something. We're going to do a revision. Repetition is the mother of learning. So when something is important, right? We repeat it. There's a famous verse from the Brihad Purana. Yeah, Jani Tai Prabhu. Can you say it loudly? It has 3 repeats at the beginning, 3 repeats at the end. Yeah, so this nice verse has internal repetitions. Hare Nama, the chanting of the holy name, the holy name, the holy name. It is the only way, the only way, the only way to be delivered in this age of Kali, this age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So nice verse with internal repetitions, and we always explain this verse as saying, when something is important, we say it more than once. We repeat it to reinforce. We repeat it because we really want to convey the message. So say it once, it may be important. Say it twice, okay, this is serious here. Say it 3 times, okay, I better pay attention. And so when a verse is repeated in the Bhagavatam, maybe we'll stand up and pay attention to it. As I have, got struck, oh, the same verse, I read this some cantos ago, and here it is again. Maybe I should pay attention to this verse. What is it saying? What does it want me to understand? And so for emphasis, we get repetition. And then we find that this emphasis can also take different directions as well, different emphasis for different reasons. So one of the verses that we will explore, it is we might say pedagogical, to help us understand the text as a whole. This is important. Understand the Bhagavatam through this verse. I'm repeating it for you. We can see the placement of the verse, and we'll get a sense of how that placement and repetition is giving us a pedagogical hint. This is the key message that we want you to understand. Please take note. Let it be reinforced for you. Other repetition that we'll explore is philosophical. So establishing our truth of the Bhagavatam. And then a final repetition that we will explore is devotional. It's demonstrative of what is attained through this practice. So the philosophical is showing us the practice or describing the practice, and then this devotional, demonstrative, we see the effects exemplified in the character, and the repetition we'll see highlights that. So let us begin our exploration, beginning with the pedagogical. We'll ask Vasudeva Prabhu maybe to lead us in chanting this verse. Is it a verse that? Yes, of course. We're going to give you the microphone. Yeah, let's repeat. Yeah, we'll repeat after you. Tadvishargo janataga viplavo Yasmin pratislokam abhadyadavapi Namanyatasya yaso nikaniya Shrinvanti gayanti grinanti sadhava. Thank you, Prabhu. So yeah, you'll note another word there, right? Tagged on at the end of the top line. It says samplava. And there's a reason why Vasudeva Prabhu didn't chant that. It is a variation of the verse that appears in the 12th canto. So the immediate version on the screen, outside of brackets, is from the first canto of the Bhagavatam. And then the 12th canto repeats this verse with just one word variation. Viplavo changes to samplava. This is a key word, actually, and we'll talk more about it. Who'd like to read? So I've given it's Prabhupada's translation. I've just broken it up into sections, 4 to 6 words. Who'd like to read one of these groupings for us? Please.
On the other hand, that literature, which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, theme, forms, and pastimes of the unlimited Supreme Lord.
Next.
Is a different creation full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization.
Such transcendental literature, even though imperfectly composed, is heard, sung, and accepted by purified persons who are thoroughly honest.
Yeah, so really wonderful, memorable verse and translation. What are some words that really stand out for you in that translation from Prabhupada? Yes, Johnny Tai.
To bring about a revolution
Yeah.
in an empire's life. This was misdirected civilization.
Yeah, they really hit home. Yes, Radhavati.
Honest.
Lovely. the honest souls who enjoy or relish these verses that cause a revolution. That always struck me, revolution and misdirected civilization. Yes?
Also the part, even though imperfectly composed.
Right, yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah, Bhagavatam's given itself permission, so to speak. If you find a fault here, it's not important. The main thing that's going on is you'll be hearing about Krishna, his names, forms, quality. We won't find a fault. If you do, let it go. This verse is spoken by Narad Muni, actually, prior to the Bhagavatam being written by Vyasa. We say Vyasa wrote the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is eternal. It's given by Vishnu to Brahma to Narad, who then instructs Vyasa and tells him, you need to write. You've compiled the Vedas, you've written Ramayana, Mahabharata, you're still dissatisfied. This is the same chapter, first canto. Oh, we'll give the reference here, sorry. The first canto, chapter 5, Narad Muni is speaking to Vyasa and telling him, you're dissatisfied because you haven't exclusively glorified Krishna and exclusively given people direction to bhakti. And that's what you need to do. And he's telling Vyasa here the type of book he should write. Other books, they are so many words, they're not of any great value. On the other hand, this literature that I want you to compile, this Srimad Bhagavatam, describing the glories of the name, fame, forms and pastimes of Krishna, it's of an entirely different nature. It'll bring about a revolution in the heart. So wonderful. Revolution in the heart of the misdirected civilization. So this is the dawn of Kali Yuga. The Bhagavatam setting, right? Sages of Naimisharanya meeting, they're concerned about Kali Yuga. Vyasa, the dawn of Kali Yuga, is given Mahabharata Ramayana to help compile the Vedas, but he's still not satisfied, haven't done the work properly. And then the last great Kuru king, Parikshit, at the dawn of Kali Yuga, meets Kali personified. So there's a context here of great concern about this dawn of the age of darkness, what's going to happen. And the Bhagavatam is being offered as a solution for people in this time of misdirected civilization. How this Bhagavatam will bring about revolution. So some nice verse, some nice words. Janataga Viplava. Janataga Viplava, that's the revolution, Viplava. And then in the 12th canto variation, it's the end of the Bhagavatam. So the reference here was 12. 12th canto, chapter 12, one of the very last verses of the Bhagavatam. And he's used a different word. It's a different speaker, Sutta Goswami, speaking to the sages of Naimisharanya. Same verse, this Bhagavatam, describing the name, forms, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna. It will inundate the heart, samplava. He's not using revolution. You've read the Bhagavatam. Let it now flood your heart. Let it overflow. Samplava, let your heart be inundated with these names, fame, the name, fame, pastimes, forms, glories of Krishna. Let your heart be flooded. So beautiful. And we have this wonderful book ending, right? So, one way to read a book, you read the introduction and you read the final chapter, final conclusion. Ekantaka Bhakti is here reading an academic paper, very dense. Most of us read the abstract and the conclusion. You get a good idea of what the paper is, then you dive in and engage with the rest of it. When I was doing my dissertation, we had a professor who gave us a series of lectures, and he would prescribe like 8 or 9, 15 papers per lecture for us to read beforehand, which is ridiculous. And there were dense papers, and so my peers made a study group, and they divided the papers between them. It was like, okay, you're in charge of that section, you're in charge of that. I didn't have time to meet with them and be part of that group. I read the intro, the abstract and conclusion for each paper, took some notes, and then I was there in the seminars answering all the questions, and they're like, who is this guy? He knows the answers to all the questions, and I had skimmed. Anyway, let it suffice to say that is a way of studying. Here, the Bhagavatam is telling us at the very beginning, this is what the Bhagavatam will do. It's about the name, fame, glories, pastimes, forms of Krishna. Engage with it. Your heart will be moved. Your heart will be purified. There will be a revolution. Some revolution, some kind of overthrow, regime change. It's topical right now. The old guard, Kali may be there ruling, he'll be overthrown. And lust, anger, greed may be dominant there. They'll be overthrown. A revolution. And instead you'll have an awakening of bhakti. Sampava, your heart will be inundated with devotion. Pratislokam, this is significant. Every verse, Narada Muni tells us, Sutta Goswami tells us, every verse of this Bhagavatam can have this effect on you, from start to end. Of course, some verses we hold in higher esteem in terms of appreciation. But Narada Muni is telling us, pay attention to every verse. Pratishlokam. And then, Shrinvanti Gayanti Grananti Sadhava. Sadhus hear, sing, and relish this Bhagavatam. Those who are honest. That's Prabhupada's beautiful translation. Those who are honest, those who are sadhus, they hear Shrinvati, they sing Gayati, Grihnati, they relish this Srimad Bhagavatam. So yeah, one verse for you to add to your list of verses to memorize. Bhagavatam has flagged it to us. This is important. Pay attention. The original Bhagavatam commentator Sridhar Swami says this verse declares the very purpose of the Bhagavatam. This is the mission statement of the Bhagavatam. Okay, so one beautiful verse. Let's go to another. You can repeat after me. Pulayama lavenapi na svargam na punarbhavam Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya Martyanam Kim Utasisa. So let's take turns reading.
The value of a single moment's association with the devotee of the Lord cannot even be compared to attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from material existence.
Someone else?
Should I?
Okay, you continue.
What then to speak of worldly benedictions and material prosperity meant for those who are destined for death?
So this verse appears in the first canto of the Bhagavatam, chapter 18. And that's where the sages of Naimisharanya are asking Sutta Goswami, tell us more about Krishna. Tell us more about this Srimad Bhagavatam. They're trying to encourage him to speak. And they convey to Sutta Goswami why they're so interested, why they want to continue to speak Bhagavatam. They're trying to encourage him to be merciful to them and to reveal more of the Bhagavatam. The verse repeats in the fourth canto where the Prachetas are speaking to Lord Vishnu, and they speak this verse about the glory of devotional service and the glory here specifically of devotee association. Tula Yama. Tula is a balance. Tula nakshatra, right? One of the scale, yeah. One of the zodiac signs is the scales. So Tula. If you have a scale and you put on one side achieving heavenly planets or even merging with Brahman, and on the other side you put, what does it say here? Bhagavat Sangasya, the association of those who are associates of the Lord. He says there's no comparison. The association of the devotee, even for a moment, is so much more worthy, so much more valuable. The scales will certainly tip in favor of even just lavena, just a moment of this association. So lavena, a moment. Bhagavat Sangasya. I like the phrasing here. It's also telling us, so we translated it as devotees, a moment's association with the devotee, and how the sages of Naimisharanya, or how the Prachetas describe the devotee as those who are associates of the Lord. Bhagavat Sangi, those who are always immersed in Krishna's association, through darshan, through chanting, through hearing, through remembering, they're always in Krishna's association. A moment of association with them is more valuable even than achieving svarga, even more valuable than napurnar bhavam, achieving Brahman realization or merging with Brahman. So what is the verse telling us? Seek out association with devotees. The Bhagavatam really directs us to hearing, remembering, glorifying Krishna, and serving devotees. If we look at what the Bhagavatam is really reinforcing, it's chanting, it's remembering, it's serving Vaishnavas, serving Krishna, serving Krishna's devotees, honoring Krishna's devotees. And so, very wonderful, wonderful verse, giving us essential teachings of the Bhagavatam. And now I share a third verse, and this will be the Jiva Goswami's commentary. This verse does not deny, nice point. He says this verse doesn't deny heaven or liberation. He says just that in the presence of the devotee or in presence of bhakti, they lose their pull. They lose their allure. They lose their value. Thank you. So that's a beautiful point Jiva Goswami highlights. Svarga's there. Fair enough. Heavenly enjoyment. Merging with Brahman. Yes, it is blissful. And it is there. It is an objective of the Veda. One of the Purusharthas, moksha. It's there. But in the presence of the bhakta, in the presence of devotion, they just lose any value. So a very beautiful point that Jiva Goswami highlights for us. Okay, let's go to the last verse. This one, this Tulyamana Lavanapi, it's verbatim the same. The first verse we looked at had one word variation. This one is verbatim. The last verse that we will look at has two versions. And it's two versions, not in terms of just one word. It is one word that changes, but it changes the verse significantly as well. Change one word and something wonderful happens. Who'd like to lead the chanting of this verse? Anyone? Please. Nama Pankajanabhaya. Nama Pankajamaline. Nama Pankajanetraya. Namaste Pankajangraye. So let's share, reading the translation.
My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses.
Beautiful. Who speaks this verse? Kunti Devi. Yes. In the first canto of the Bhagavatam. Who else? The pundits are considering. Yeah, good try. Yeah. It's Bhumi Devi. Bhumi Devi speaks this verse to Krishna in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam, when Krishna punishes Narakasura, or Bhaumasura, who's her son, via Varahadev. Then she offers prayers and she comes forward with her grandson, or Narakasura's, Bhaumasura's son, presents him to Krishna, presents him with items that Bhaumasura had stolen, Aditi's earrings, Indra's umbrella, and some other things. Kuvera's garden, I think. And she offers this verse, the same verse that Kunti Devi also speaks. Very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful verse, comparing Krishna to lotuses. So in Prabhupada's book, The Teachings of Queen Kunti, he has a lecture on this verse, and that's given as a chapter in the Teachings of Queen Kunti. And the chapter is titled, anyone? A Vision of Lotuses. I think so, yeah. A vision of lotuses. We have this vision of Krishna. We have darshan of Krishna and Kunti, or Bhumi. They are seeing Krishna as so many lotus flowers. Your navel is like a lotus flower. This is actually, your navel is like a lotus flower. You have a garland of lotuses. Your eyes are like lotus flowers, lotus eyes. And then you have lotus feet, or you have feet that also have the impression, the mark of the lotus flower. And this is where you can get variations in the translation. Is it Krishna's lotus feet, or is it markings of a lotus on his feet? Is it that Krishna's abdomen has a depression that's like a lotus, or is it that there's a lotus that comes from his navel? This is actually the verse that triggered a search. So a very beautiful vision. One thing that our acharyas point out about this verse is that they're not asking anything from Krishna. So this is a nice exemplification. The effect of the revolution, the inundation, is being exemplified here in this verse of the devotee. Seeing God, what do you say? When Kunti saw Krishna, this is what she was inspired to offer him. These beautiful words describing what she has seen. Krishna, your navel, your abdomen, it's like a lotus, or has the depression like a lotus flower, and you have a lotus garland, and you have lotus eyes and lotus feet. It's so beautiful to behold. An outpouring of love. And here the lotus is called Pankaja. What does Pankaja mean? It means lotus, but literally in Sanskrit, Vasudev, who was our local Sanskrit scholar.
Panka means mud, and Ja means born of mud.
Born of mud. So one of the names for the lotus is born of mud. And I grew up in Australia, so our community there, New Govardhan, has many ponds, lakes and ponds that are filled with lotus flowers. And yeah, they grow in the ponds that have a muddy bottom. And if you go into the lake to try to collect the lotuses, it can be a bit mucky. And then these beautiful, beautiful flowers with such an incredible fragrance. And bees are usually buzzing over them, growing there in that mucky water. And so there's this dichotomy. The muck that the lotus grows out of, and there it is sitting transcendent, risen above that mucky surface, that muddy surface. And so Kunti also, she's glorifying Krishna. You are like lotus, Pankaja. My life, I've experienced a lot of muck. There's been a lot of difficulty. I've been dragged through the mud. My sons had their kingdom taken from them. My sons were exiled. We lived in the forest for 14 years. My sons had faced different assassination attempts. My own husband was cursed to die. A difficult life Kunti has lived. But in this, and she prays in another verse, very famous prayer of hers from the same section of the Bhagavatam, Vipada Santuta Shasvat Tatra Tatra Jagadguru Bhavato Darshanam Yatsyad Apuna Bhava Darshanam. Krishna, let the calamities come again and again. She's not praying for calamities. She's praying that whenever I faced the calamity, I saw you. I called to you and you were there. And I had your darshan. That's what she's praying for, just to clarify. It can confuse us sometimes. Really? Asking for hardship in life? Life is hard enough. And the point is she wants to remember Krishna always. She wants to see Krishna always and to never forget him. So out of struggle, she has had Krishna's darshan. And so here she's glorifying Krishna, the transcendent lotus above it all, with a navel like a lotus, with a garland of lotuses, with eyes that are lotus eyes and lotus feet. Let's look at one more iteration of this verse. You ready? This is actually the version that I learned long ago, and then was surprised to find this version. And I didn't know where my version came from. I thought it was another Upanishad or something until I realized they were all Bhagavatam. Nama Kamala Nabha, Nama Kamala Nabhaya, Nama Kamala Maline, Nama Kamala Padaya, Namaste Kamalakshana. Who'd like to read translations or parts of translations?
Dear Lord, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you because from your abdomen sprouts the lotus flower, the origin of all living entities.
You are always decorated with a lotus garland, the lotus flower with all its fragrance.
Your eyes are also like the petals of the lotus flower, therefore we always offer our respectful obeisances unto you.
Thank you. Beautiful, isn't it? It's the same verse, pretty much. Just, that's the Prachetas speaking to Vishnu. Pretty much the same verse, just the word Pankaja has been replaced with a synonym. A synonym for the lotus is Kamala. And there are many other synonyms in Sanskrit for lotus, but here in this verse spoken by the Prachetas, Nama Kamala Nabhaya. And then Prabhupada's translation is, you, dear Lord, obeisances to you, from whose abdomen sprouts a lotus that is the origin of all the worlds. Very wonderful. Nama Kamala Maline. Obeisances to you who are wearing a lotus flower. Nama Kamala Padaya. So there's a reversal in sequence in this verse. Pada was at the end of the Kunti Bhumi verse. Obeisance to you whose feet are like lotuses. Namaste Kamalakshana. Kamalaksha is a nice name. Kamalaksha means, Aksha is eyes, Kamalaksha, one who has lotus eyes. Very lovely. And our acharyas explain this verse most wonderfully. So first they say they're not asking for anything, they're just glorifying Krishna. A prayer as glorification, because they already have everything. You see Krishna, what do you need? You're face to face with God. What else is there to ask for? Other than love, pure devotion. May I never forget you. May I always be in loving service to you. I have nothing to ask. So that's one beautiful point that the acharyas highlight. Another is they see this as a very complete glorification. They're offering obeisances to you who are the source. Your navel or your abdomen is the source of everything. And then your maline, you are the source of everything. You are the garland or the ornament of everything. Your presence is what makes things beautiful. They say, the acharyas say, your vision, your glance is full of compassion and kindness. So glorifying Krishna's eyes, his lotus eyes. And they say, when one receives that glance, it is most cooling, like the lotus. That's another quality of the lotus flower, the lotus petal. It's very cooling, or the lotus leaf. Very cooling. And then Angri or Pada, Namaste, Kamala Pade or Kamala Pada. Your obeisances to you who have lotus feet. And this is a glorification of Krishna as the refuge, the ultimate refuge. So source, ornament, that which attracts us, compassionate glance, and final refuge are conveyed in this verse, as explained by our acharyas. And then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says, this verse is spoken by different people, but they speak the same words, but they have different moods. So that's also nice to explore a little. The same words spoken in a different context by a different person will have a different flavor. So Kunti's Pankaja, the lotus born out of mud, it's mixed with intimacy and awe, and that's her relationship with Krishna. She's his aunt, and she also has awareness of his divinity. So there's the intimacy of a loving aunt, but also one who has awareness of the greatness of God. Bhumi, she's also saying Pankaja, she is the earth herself. You have risen out of me, in a sense. You're like a lotus, and you have come to relieve the burden of the earth. So there's the Kunti, Bhumi, she prays at the beginning of the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam, please come and deliver the earth from the demons who are appearing and causing a great hindrance, appearing in the guise of the royal order. And so Krishna comes, paritranaya sarunam, to protect the devotees, vinashaya cha duskritam, to destroy miscreants, dharma samstapana, to establish dharma. And Bhumi is feeling a relief. Oh, you have come, you have done it. And so she's glorifying him with that mood, gratitude. And then the Prachetas, they're seeing Vishnu after rising up out of the water after a long time, long tapasya. And they're seeing Krishna's beauty. And they're using this word Kamala, the beautiful, auspicious lotus. You are the source of all. You are a sight for sore eyes. You are the source of all. You are all beauty, all wonder. You are the refuge. You are the source. You are the ornament. And so very similar sentiments, but slightly different context. And one word varies, a couple of words vary, and we get a different flavor. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is inviting us to appreciate that nuance in bhava, that nuance in sentiment, as the same verse is recited by different devotees in different relationships. Any reflections, insights? Yes, Yadunath Prabhu.
Not really an insight or anything, just commenting on that last verse. One other thing in addition is it's really nice because it encompasses Krishna's entire body. The eyes, the chest, the abdomen.
Right, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Wonderful. It's a full vision, full description. Any other reflections?
I was thinking back at the beginning, the first two verses, one was spoken by Garden Muni to Vyasadeva, and then at the end, you don't have to go back to that, you said it was spoken by Sukha Goswami to the sages of Nandishwar.
Yeah.
So So first I was kind of thinking that, well, actually, I guess Sutta Goswami was speaking both times, because he's telling the story of how
Right.
we're speaking to
Right.
Vyasadeva. And then I started thinking of the context of the verses being spoken, because they're actually being spoken in duplicate or triplicate by the same person in one
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
And just because actually uh, the first verse would have been spoken prior to Shukadeva Goswami speaking,
Mm-hmm.
so it certainly would have been Sutta Goswami's words, not Shukadev's words. He's not quoting Shukadeva at that point. He's
Mm-hmm.
speaking to the sages and
Mm-hmm.
answering those initial questions that were asked.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I was just reflecting on that.
Sure.
It's interesting for him to use it, repeat the verse later, and
Yeah.
slightly adapt it.
Yeah.
What was inundation versus revolution, I think.
That's right. Viplava versus Samplava. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I was also thinking on the point of how you managed to read the beginning and the end, that Prabhupada said we have to read from the beginning to the end. The first canto and skip to the last canto. Don't take that with
Yeah. Good. Good. Thank you for that caution. So it is a point of hermeneutics of the Mimam ways of understanding the meanings of verses are to see what's in front and what's prior and what's just right. And then another principle is you see what's at the beginning and at the end of a chapter. And then another is you see what's at the beginning and end of a book. Generally, there's a Mangalacharana and then concluding prayers, and that will also give you hints. So this verse is operating in that way. But yes, definitely with the Bhagavatam, we want to be reading from the beginning through to the end. It can be helpful to pay attention to the beginning and the end, because they give us indications of a question or some kind of framing. Yeah.
Just a question, I'm wondering, at the beginning you said that these verses will, and there it is. So I'm just wondering, you gave us 3 verses, but did you tell us how they fit?
Which one's which? Yeah, so the first one is pedagogical, because it's telling us in the beginning and the end, this is how you read the Bhagavatam. The second is telling us the effect of the Bhagavatam, or showing us how it works. One moment's association with the devotee, it's worth more. It's giving us some instruction about the value of sadhu sangha. And who are the sadhus? They are those who hear about, remember, and glorify Krishna. They are associating with Krishna. Bhagavat Sangasya, right? And then the demonstrative was this Pankaja Nabhaya, Pankaja Maline, showing us the ultimate expression of the devotee, or exemplifies it demonstrates for us the character of the devotee, seeing God and their ecstatic glorification of Krishna, not asking for anything, but rather their heart flooding with love and glorification of Krishna. That's why I brought them together, to show different types of verses. And
where does this come from?
no, that's just my analysis of these 3 verses. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have Sanskrit terms for them. Yes, Vasudeva Prabhu.
I'm mindful of Vasudeva, but as I go back a bit, the Bhagavatam has 18,000 verses, right?
Yeah.
So actually, should we not be saying about the Bhagavatam has 17,990 verses?
Yeah.
Can't repeat, right?
Good.
A little reflection on that first verse,
Please.
both personal and how key that verse is to Srila Prabhupada's life and mission. He actually, in his foreword to the Bhagavatam, the beautiful foreword, so much is ends with this verse.
Ah,
And I remember reading a book by Satsrup Das Goswami, Prabhupada Nectar.
yep,
It's a series of books actually. It's kind of the leftovers from the Lilamrita,
Yeah.
his biography. And one devotee there mentions that every incarnation of the Lord, you'll find a verse in the Shastra which, captures that incarnation, or predicts that incarnation of the Lord.
mm-hmm,
For example, we know Lord Chaitanya, Jai Sankirtana Praya. So he said, like, if we look at Prabhupada as a Shaktiavesh, as an empowered incarnation of the Lord, and this would be the verse
uh-huh,
kind of predicting him.
okay,
Because every aspect of Tatvag, the creation of he said that Tatvag, that literature,
yeah,
which brings about the revolution in
Uh-huh.
the empires' lives of the misdirected civilization. So that's,
that's a beautiful
I
realization.
think just in this room there's already so many whose first contact was one of Prabhupada's books.
Yeah,
And then they are imperfectly composed. Yeah, and if you look at like the whole process, the Prabhupada, he spoke the books, that they had to transcribe it, edit it, and in the process, there's definitely some mistakes, and there's controversy around it. But yeah, they're imperfectly composed. Even if you analyze this Sanskrit very carefully, like, sometimes Prabhupada leaves out some part of the translation and he deals with it improperly, doesn't deal with it at all. It's like, it's not, if you look at it from the Sanskrit level, it's perfect that it exactly captures the meaning,
mm-hmm,
but it's not like,
literally perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so, but it doesn't matter, because it has the effect.
Yeah.
And they are heard, sung, and accepted by those who are thoroughly honest.
Mm, mm,
So
mm,
you find that too, that those who are really seeking for truth,
yeah,
those books really speak to them. And just a little reflection on that verse. That was my initial contact with Krishna consciousness. That I found the Srimad Bhagavatam in the local library, and I never met a devotee, but I had a summer break, a spring break.
yeah,
So I took the book home, and I didn't leave my room for about 2 weeks.
uh-huh,
So I was just reading the Bhagavatam, reading
Right.
every day for hours and hours and hours, and at the end of that, I was like, I want to become a devotee.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what it means yet.
yeah,
I want not just a devotee, I want to become a pure devotee of Krishna.
yeah,
I had no clue yet really what that means, but it just created that immense revolution and that
yeah,
immense feeling of like, yeah, I just want to leave aside all these bad habits. And I felt that it gave immense inspiration and strength. So that's a very personal meaning for me as well.
wonderful, yeah,
A revolution is a very sudden and quick change.
yeah.
So
And did you know about devotees at that time? No, just the book.
I did it, I know. That was
Yeah.
the shock of my life when I was
Right. But that's the amazing thing, the potency of Prabhupada's books, right? Because all the perfect literal translations don't have that effect. What you're just, it's not just, so it's the Bhagavatam, but then it's the Bhagavatam given by Prabhupada, and it has that potency to do what you're describing. Like there have been so many people who have had your experience, and I don't know anyone who has had that experience reading an academic translation of the Bhagavatam. There's Prabhupada really captures the essence and conveys it. And so, like you're saying, he exemplifies that verse. That's such a beautiful meditation. Wonderful. Thank you for that.
It reminds me of the Gita. There's like hundreds and hundreds of translations of the Gita, but only Bhagavad Gita as it is has made devotees all over the world.
Yeah. I think it's time. So I'd say treasure these verses. They're beautiful, they're wonderful. Make them your friends, make them your guides. Remember some verses, have them as your own companions, treasures that you hold in your heart. Bhagavatam is wonderful. Let it live within you, let it transform you, let it flow from you, that you share it with others as well. Hare Krishna.
Sri Prahlad. Okay, we're going to have our and sing and dance for the lordships.
Would you like to know? Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Gurusale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pratharine Nirvishesha Sundavari Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Astottara Sata Shri Srimad Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Shri Rupa Shri Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Das Raghunath Sadhu Swami Prabhupada Ki Prensico Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Ganga Devi Ki Yamuna Devi Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Nam Sankirtan Ki Navadip Dham Ki Rajagumi Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Shri Radha Murli Dhara Ki Gaura Chandra Ki Bhakti Santa Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Hari Gaur Premanandi. Glory to the assembled devotees. Glory to the assembled devotees. Glory to the assembled devotees. Glory to Shri Shri Guru Guru Guru. Glory to Shri Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Alada Alada Dayane. Alada Dayane. Nanjakashi Purashava. Nanjakashi Purashava. Shila Ito Rishin Papa Rato Rishin Shridev Bhagavan ki
Jai.
Bhakta Prabha Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai Gaur Premanand.
Hello, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. We are reaching the end of our program, but I wanted to share a few announcements. This is just one of the many, many programs we have going on at Bhakti Center on a regular basis. So there have been a lot of new community groups that have just started or are just starting. So we encourage you to go on our website, bhakticenter.org, and see if you want to join these groups. It's a wonderful opportunity to meet new people, to read a spiritual book together. You meet every week for usually 12 weeks, and you have really enlightening discussions. So couldn't recommend that more. A few additional announcements. We have a few festivals coming up. So Sunday, January 25th, Advaita Acharya's Appearance Day. On Thursday, January 29th, we have Lord Varahadev's Appearance Day. And then Friday, January 30th, Lord Nityananda's Appearance Day. So we will have festivals for all of these very auspicious occasions here at Bhakti Center, and all of that information will be online with opportunities if you'd like to volunteer to do some seva and help with those events, or if you'd like to donate to support them as well. And then finally, a very special festival coming up later in February. February 21st, we have our Bhakti Center Flower Festival, which if you have not been, is very much so something to behold and to participate in. It's very fun. There's more flower petals than you can even imagine being showered and bathed upon their lordships. And then at the end, everybody gets to participate and lovingly and mischievously toss flower petals at each other. So very fun. Please come to that. And in advance, the days leading up, so the 19th, the 20th, even the 21st, they'll have opportunities for everyone to actually depetal the flowers. It's very sweet. You sit in a big circle and everyone's just plucking flower petals. It's a really nice seva. So we hope that you will join us for that. Again, look on our website for all of that information. We will have prasadam served in the back, and as is typical here at Bhakti Center, this is a community-funded program, community-supported program. If you feel so inspired, we have a very fancy, cool new donation board. You can just tap to donate, or you can go old school. There will be a basket there as well. We're so grateful that you're here and you've spent this time with us today. We hope to see you again and again. Hare Krishna.